We've entered into the thick of holiday time. So this time of the year can be a little bit crazy for some people. It can feel a little bit crunchy and hard. And I've talked a lot in the past about really re-infusing the mysticism into this time. In this video, I want to talk about how to truly create a magical December, how to have this whole month be one that you really enjoy. I'm Asia Suler of One Willow Apothecaries, and this is your guide to creating a magical December. Number one is make time for self-care. You've probably heard this in a lot of different places already so far this season, this emphasis on self-care. But I kind of want to give you a little bit of a different angle to maybe go a little bit deeper into your commitment to this. You know, when things are difficult or hard, that's actually the best time to create and craft new patterning in your life. It's pretty easy to say in the new year when things calm down and are really quiet, oh, I'm going to make time for meditation or exercise or yoga now. It's a lot harder to make that time when our schedules are really busy. But what actually happens for us on a mental physiological level is we are retraining ourselves to prioritize self-care. When we can make time for self-care when we don't have time, what we're telling our deeper consciousness is that this is truly important to us. And we will actually start to change the way in which we see and process our time in our life. You know, time is really variable. Time is really in the eye of the beholder. You've seen this when you're with someone and you're having a great time and the day just flies by versus when you're sitting at the computer and writing emails, it's like an hour is an eon. Time is very flexible. And by doing this kind of activity, by making time when you truly feel like you don't have time, what you're doing is you're finding the flexibility of time. You're stepping out of the very strict linear viewpoint of time, and you're finding this time out of time for yourself. And in so many ways, this is what this December month was traditionally about. When we enter into this moment in time of the sun just beginning to start to return again, we're going into the deepest, darkest part of the year when your dreams and your daytime would really start to interweave. In a lot of ways, that's what this season was actually about, this essence of time out of time. You know, this is the darkest part of the year. And traditionally, before we would have all these lights that we could just easily flick on in our home, we would be spending a lot of time in darkness. We would be spending a lot of time sleeping and going in and out of different states of consciousness and the dream time. Really, the lines of time would have started to become blurred. And I want you to be able to embrace this for yourself now and working with this idea of making time when you have a hard time finding time is the fastest and most potent way to step out of limiting or constricting time frames and enter into the truly mystical essence of this season. Number two is to simply remember the magic of this time. If we look at many different temples and earthworks around the world, we see that so many of them are actually aligned to the solstice, and most often the winter solstice, because this was such an important and mythic moment for people. If you think about the way things must have been before we had our modern conveniences, it was pretty profound to enter into this super dark time and then have the light return. Because this is what the solstice really is. It's when the sun begins to shine brighter, begins to come closer to the earth. And what a time of hope. So as we move into the solstice season, embrace the deep richness of the darkness now, that magic that can come out of this time of liminality and the unseen. One way to do this is just to simply spend more time by candlelight, to turn off your lights early, get into the darkness, and enact a small ritual, whatever magic means to you, to really connect back into the deep roots of mysticism that this season holds. The third tip for creating a magical December month is to really get hands-on with your experience here. This season of gift giving can be really beautiful, and that kind of gets buried sometimes under all these layers of commercialism, which means that we're in big box stores or driving around in our cars or getting stressed out about the list of things we need to get and wrap. But what happens when we take all of that away and we just interact with our hands with something tangible? All magic arises from relationship. And it's a lot harder to have a relationship with a big box store than it is to have a relationship with a plant or a craft that you're working with directly. I really encourage you to make some time and try creating some things with your hands, whether they are as gifts or simply as objects or totems for you to connect back into this time. You know, these long winter months were traditionally when people would be crafting. You'd be sitting around at night when there was really nothing else to do, and you would be spinning yarn or you would be carving spoons. So this really connects you back into your ancestry, to the ways in which humankind have traditionally marked this time. There are so many wonderful herbs that you can work with to create medicine and to really craft special gifts for your loved ones. I have 2 videos you might want to check out here on YouTube: infusing mysticism into your holiday season, and my top 5 favorite herbs for the holiday time. And both of these highlight plants and ways of creating medicine with them that will truly bring the season alive for you. If you're interested in going even deeper and being even more guided in your practice of medicine making this December time, then I have a whole course that was specifically created for you. Holiday Magic and Medicine Making. I go into my absolute favorite herbs for this time and tutorials for how to take those herbs, ID them, work with them, and turn them into truly beautiful and unique wintertime medicines. So if you liked this video and you found, like the Grinch, it's making your heart grow 10 times bigger, then share it with your friends and family. Let's really make this season one that feels good and nurturing, rich, and magical for us all. And I'd love to hear in the comments below what your favorite holiday rituals are. Whether they're religious or non-religious, what are your ways of marking the true specialness of this time? Thank you so much for watching, and may you create a truly wonderful season for yourself.